Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Bio Universe. I am Suyanka and today we will discuss about the improvement in food resources. Food resources play a crucial role in sustaining human life and ensuring global food security. Over the years, substantial improvements have been made in the production, distribution, and utilization of food resources. These advancements have greatly contributed to enhancing the quality and availability of food for individuals and communities worldwide. First of all, let's discuss about the improvement in crop yields. Agriculture is the science and practice of farming. There are different branches of agriculture such as agronomy, which deals with the rearing and management of crop plants, horticulture, that is the science of growing and management of fruits and flowering plants in gardens, olericulture, which deals with growing and management of vegetables. Do you know what is crops? Crops are plants cultivated by humans for food, fodder, and other materials. The important types of crops are cereal crops, that is wheat, rice, maize, etc., pulses, that is gram, pea, etc., oilseed crops, that is groundnut, mustard, etc., fruit and vegetable crops, for example orange, apple, mango, etc., spices, for example chili, black pepper, ginger, turmeric, etc., and some other crops, for example fibers, sugar, and fodder crops. Different crops require different climatic conditions. Broadly, there are two seasons of crop growth, that is kharif and rabi. Kharif crops are also known as summer season crops because they grow during rainy seasons of June to October. For example, paddy, soybean, peasant pea, maize, cotton, green gram, black gram, etc. Rabi crops are also known as winter season crops which grow from November to April. For example, peas, mustard, wheat, gram, linseed, etc. In India, food grain production has increased 4 times between 1960 and 2004, while the cultivable land area increased by only 25%. This has been possible through improvement in three stages: crop variety improvement, crop production improvement, crop protection improvement. Let us discuss them one by one. Crop variety improvement. There is an urgent need to continuously increase crop yield because of rising in human population and limited cropping areas. Some of the factors for which variety improvement is done are to increase the productivity of the crop per acre. The variety is improved to enhance the desirable quality. For example, good baking in wheat, protein quality in pulses, more unsaturated oils in oilseeds, better taste of fruits, and more preserving quality in fruits and vegetables, more vitamins and other useful chemicals. Crop yield is reduced due to the attack by microbes, insects, rodents, and nematodes. It is also affected by various environmental factors like flood, drought, waterlogging, frost logging, etc. Varieties resistant to these biotic and abiotic stresses naturally yield more. The shorter the duration of crop, the more economical is the variety. It helps the farmers in raising multiple rounds of crops in a year from the same field. Cost of production is reduced. Most of the crops plants are affected by variations in temperature and exposure of plants to suitable day length. To achieve high productivity, the food crops should be dwarf so that they consume less nutrients, become stronger, and withstand strong winds. The fodder crops should be tall and should have profuse branching. Crop variety improvement is manipulation of crop plants for increasing their yield, improving quality, sustainability to varied conditions, and resistance to biotic and abiotic stresses. Plant breeding is the science and art of improving the heredity of the plants in the relation to their economic use. The various methods of breeding are as follows. Introduction of new variety from an area where it grows naturally to a region where it does not occur before. During the process of individual plants or group of plants are sorted out from the mixed populations, selections can be natural or artificial and is possible only if there is variation. Crop improvement through breeding better varieties of crop plants forms a backbone of modern agriculture. In order to obtain an improved variety of crop, following steps should be taken. First is choice of parents. Second is crossbreeding the two parents. Mutation breeding are certain inheritable variations. They are produced at random through gamma irradiation and a number of physical and chemical agents called mutagens. Polyploidy is also a method for improvement in crop varieties by increasing the chromosome number. DNA recombination technology is the process by which gene of one organism are transferred to the gene of other organism to modify their characters. These organisms are known as genetically modified organisms. Crop production management. India is agriculture based country. Here agriculture engages about 70% of people and accounts for 40% of gross national product. Different types of farming practices are being practiced by small or progressive farmers. They depend upon size of the land holding, financial conditions and use of modern technology. The production practices included no-cost production, low-cost production and high-cost production. Crop production management has three components: nutrient management, irrigation and cropping pattern. What is nutrient management? Plant nutrients are inorganic raw materials that the plants absorb from their surroundings and utilize the same in building up their organic matter. Some of the chemical elements are required for by all plants. They are called essential elements. There are total 16 chemical elements which are essential for plants. Plant nutrients are categorized into micronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are those essential elements which are present in plants in easily detectable quantities. For example, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Micronutrients are those essential elements which are present in plants in small quantities. For example, iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, and chlorine. Deficiency of these nutrients affect physiological processes in plants including reproduction, photosynthesis, and growth, and also responsible for diseases. To increase the crop yield, the soil can be enriched by supplying these nutrients in the form of manure and fertilizers. Manure is a partially decomposed organic matter derived from plant and animal waste which is added to the soil to increase its fertility. Manure provides a lot of organic matter to the soil which increases water retention capacity in sandy soils. Manure enriches the soil with nutrients. It provides food for soil organisms. By using biological waste materials as a manure, we recycle the waste and protect our environment from chemicals. On the basis of kind of biological material used, manure can be classified as farmyard manure, that is formed from organic remains of farm animals and crop residues. For example, cattle excreta, farm litter and other plant wastes. Compost, which is a mixture of decomposed organic matter derived from vegetable waste, garbage, sewage sludge, and animal refuse. Compost is ready within 3 to 6 months. It is richer in minerals as compared to farmyard manures. Vermicompositing, it is a quicker method of compositing. Earthworms are introduced in the heap having organic matter, which is broken down to fine particles. Green manure, it is a manure formed inside soil from young green crop plants plugged back into the soil. The green manure crops are generally quick growing legume crops which are mulched by plugging them back into field in tender stage. A green manure crop supplies organic matter for improving hydration, aeration, and crumb structure of soil. It supplies nitrogen and phosphorus. It provides protection against erosion and leaching. Fertilizers are commercially produced chemical formulations that provide nutrients to crop plants for overcoming soil deficiency, enhancing their growth and yield. Depending upon the critical element present, fertilizers are of four main types. Nitrogenous fertilizers, which contain nitrogen as principal nutrient, for example, urea, ammonium sulfate, ammonium nitrate, sodium nitrate, calcium ammonium nitrate. Phosphatic fertilizers, which contain phosphorus as a principal nutrient, for example, ammonium phosphate, ammonium hydrogen phosphate, superphosphate, etc. Potassium fertilizers, which contain potassium as a principal nutrient, for example, potassium sulfate, potassium chloride, potassium nitrite. Organic farming is the practice of raising unpolluted crops through the use of manures, biofertilizers, biopesticides with healthy cropping system that provides optimum nutrients and keeps the pests as well as weeds under control. Irrigation. Water is a critical requirement of the life supporting system of living organisms. It also supplies hydrogen to plants. Sufficient rain is not always there. Therefore, soil is not able to supply required water to crops. The extra water required by crops is met through irrigation. Various irrigation systems are as follows. Tanks. Tanks are small storage reservoirs which store the runoff of smaller catchment areas. Canal system. Canals take irrigation water from rivers, storage lakes, dams, etc. to agriculture lands. When water supply is insufficient, the rotation system is followed so as to provide adequate irrigation to all the fields. Wells. Wells are constructed in the regions where enough groundwater is available. They are of two types, tube wells and dug wells. River lift system is more useful in those areas where canal flow is insufficient or irregular due to inadequate water release. River valley systems are most useful in those areas where steep and narrow riverine valleys are found. For example, Western Ghats in Karnataka and Kerala. Water availability for irrigation can be assured by augmenting groundwater. It is carried out by two methods, rainwater harvesting and watershed management. In rainwater harvesting, rainwater is not allowed to go waste. It is collected and used for recharging groundwater by sinking deep drain pipes. In watershed management, small check dams are built up in watershed areas to increase percolation of water into ground, reduce flow of rainwater and prevent soil erosion. Cropping patterns. They are models of raising crops which help in obtaining maximum benefit from the same piece of land, reduce risk of crop failure, disease and infestation. Three common types of crop patterns are mixed cropping, intercropping and crop rotation. Mixed cropping is a technique of growing two or more different crops together in the same field. For example, wheat plus gram, or wheat plus mustard, or groundnut plus sunflower. Intercropping is growing two or more crops simultaneously in a same field in definite row pattern. For example, soybean plus maize or finger millet plus cowpea. There is no competition between these crops. Nutritional utilization is optimum. Pests and disease do not spread to all the plants of even the same crop because of intervening rows of other crops. As a result, both of the crops give better returns. Crop rotation. It is not advisable to grow the same crop in the same field for more than 2 years in succession, as the crop will tend to exhaust and one particular kind of mineral nutrients. For example, potatoes require much potash, but wheat requires nitrates. To maintain or to improve the fertility of soil, we should practice crop rotation. Crop protection management. Field crops are affected by many weeds, pests, and pathogens. If weeds and pests are not controlled at the appropriate time, then they can damage the crops so much that most of the crops is lost. Insect pests can be controlled by following methods. By using pesticide, the pests that damage the crops are controlled by the use of chemicals which are toxic to them. These chemicals used to eliminate them are called pesticides. Pesticides can be insecticides, weedicides, or fungicides. Biological method of pest control is some birds, insects, or other organisms are deliberately put in the affected crops fields to kill the pests selectively. The methods of controlling diseases are: seed-borne diseases can be prevented by sowing healthy seeds, pre-treating seeds with chemicals like agrocin or kerosene to kill pathogen. Soil-borne diseases can be prevented by using soil disinfectants by crop rotation. Airborne diseases can be prevented by spraying specific chemicals like insecticides, fungicides, antibiotics, etc. The breeding of disease-resistant crops is a very important method to bring about control of crop diseases. Weed control. The unwanted plants which grow along with a cultivated crop are called weeds. It can be controlled by mechanical methods, which are removal of weeds by pulling them out of with hand, removal of weeds by using trowel, that is khurpa, removal of weeds by plugging, burning and flooding before sowing, removal of weeds by interculture, or by cultural methods like timely sowing of crops, proper seed bed preparation, intercropping or crop rotation, or by chemical methods or biological methods. Storage of grains. About 9.3% of the food grains produced in our country are lost every year due to improper methods of storage and inadequate storage. The various factors responsible for such loss during storage are abiotic factors like improper moisture, humidity and temperature, and biotic factors, that is insects, birds, mammals, worms, bacteria, fungi, etc. Before storing the food grains, we should take the following preventive measures. The proper time of harvesting a crop is very important because of the time of harvesting a crop determines the yield of the crop product as well as keeping qualities of the crop products. Godowns and stores should be properly cleaned and disinfected. Dried grains to be used for seed purpose can be mixed with insecticides and fungicides. The storage structure should be airtight, moisture impervious, thermally insulated and rodent and insect proof. Control measures for pest controls are Chemical control. The pesticide solution is sprayed over the gunny bags containing food grains by using manual sprayer or mechanical sprayer. The various pesticides which can be sprayed are BHC, that is benzene hexachloride vegetable powder, malathion or parathrin. Fumigation. These pesticides which can destroy insects by forming toxic fumes are called fumigants, and the process is called fumigation. Fumigation can be done by aluminum phosphide, ethylene dichloride or methyl bromide. The practice of adding a small quantity of plant products like neem kernel powder, crushed dried fruit of black pepper, vegetable oil, mineral oil or paratherium protects seeds and grains from insects.